Okay.
Oh boy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Alter Ego Podcast, episode 126. Thank you for joining us. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm swell, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Rhino's back. How are you?
Did you see my air guitar in there?
I did the same thing. I don't know if anybody noticed. We Bill and Ted'd that whole
Not
thing.
a cute face.
It's all right. It's not supposed to be.
And of course, Miss Megan is here. How are you?
Oh, you know.
I love how she always says out the little rascals.
Oh, you know.
Hello.
That's weird.
Oh, you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, here we are. Oh, it has not been really a crazy, eventful week for news, huh?
No.
Not really a lot of stuff going on. But as you probably saw by the thumbnail art, we are talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
Did the black guy watch that?
I did watch it.
Oh boy!
So that's why you were late.
I'm gonna give him the applause just for that. I hope y'all can hear that at home. Thank you, Ryan. Oh my goodness! You know what?
Wasn't really hard though. It's Guardians, so I'll watch almost anything Guardians.
For sure,
You know?
for sure. But you should treat yourself
You know.
with a geared
Treat
hardware
yourself.
watch. They're rigged. They're rugged yet stylish watches that are the perfect accessory
Black
for the
t-shirt,
man
Billie
who's
Eilish.
always on the go. Whether it's a board meeting or a bar fight, made with high quality materials and backed up by a lifetime warranty, you can rest assured that your geared watch will be there for you when you need it most. Go to www.gearedhardware.com and use promo code AlterEgo20 to get 20% off your order. Or I hope you were insanely smart and went to their website over Black Friday where they had, I think, either 40 or 60% off.
40.
Crazy.
60 would be absurd.
I may or may not have picked something up. You'll never know. You won't be able to tell. This is still my sniper watch that I have from them. Beautiful. I can't figure out where the camera is.
There you go.
Yes. But I picked up something very beautiful.
Mhm.
Did you say bar fight?
I did.
It's warranted in a bar fight, huh?
It is.
So
I
if
mean,
it
I don't know
breaks,
if
do they
it's
also pay for
warranted.
bail money?
No,
No, big
bail
no.
money is not included.
Big no.
But your watch, it'll get through it.
They don't have to know that you were in a bar
Yeah.
fight. I mean, you can
No.
just tell them you broke it reading scripture.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, I'm not doing that.
I broke it building a church for these homeless people.
Stop.
I can't have a badass watch and get in a bar fight and be like, oh no, I broke it reading the Bible. Nah.
Right.
No. No.
I broke
You
it
should
reading
see
First
the other
Corinthians.
guys. That's what happened.
Oh boy.
I broke it reading the book of Eli.
You know John Wick? Yeah, I beat his ass.
Okay, now we're just being silly.
I know. We're being
Now we're
dumb.
just,
Don't be gross.
yeah. If the police come to arrest you, you know what I mean? You should make sure you have plenty of Ford supply. So you don't feel like bail. Did you know they offered a curated line of crafts? You know, here's what I hate about commercials, right? I'm gonna read the ad for Ford Supply, but don't you hate in the commercial where there's always that one person who knows way too goddamn much about a product?
Yeah.
Yes.
And like you feel like everything they do is like that's what they bring up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, my dog just died. You know what? You should live stream that funeral on T-Mobile's 5G internet. Did you know that? I'd be like, I'm gonna
We're
kill
not
you.
sponsored by T-Mobile.
There's one thing I hate more than that in commercials. Like you can see a commercial for Play yogurt, and
Yeah.
why is everyone so fucking happy
to be
eating Play? Like they're smiling after every bite. No one eats like that.
First of all, if I'm eating and somebody else is making eye contact with me, I'm gonna put my spoon down and go, do we have a problem?
Oh my.
Oh boy.
Sorry. It was an average.
First blooper of the night happened at
Production.
4:15.
Production
Sorry.
issues.
Got it.
I had
got
my
it.
volume all the way up, and I'm over here making the graphic.
Yeah. Ford
Eh.
Supply Company, they offer
Yeah.
a curated line of craft soaps and beard care handmade in the USA, offering scents like coffee and cream, coconut, citrus, cedarwood, and many more. Check out the full line of craft soap bars, beard oil, and beard balm online at FordSupply.com. Free U.S. shipping on all orders over $35 and get an additional 10% off with the promo code AlterEgo.
And pro tip, you do not want to use that if you're going to jail.
Do not.
Especially if you got a pretty
You will
mouth.
be the sweetest thing in there.
Because you got a pretty
You will
mouth.
have your commissary taken.
Yikes.
Getting things in your butt.
You will
Okay.
have your
Wow.
peanut butter Uncrustables taken from you.
Tooken.
Tooken. You gonna eat your cornbread?
So, hey, that's my favorite comedy of all time.
Life is too
Life.
funny, man.
Maybe I eat your cornbread. Anyway.
Don't touch the car. I'll piss on the damn car.
Speaking of pissing on the car, happy Thanksgiving, guys. I hope nobody got too crazy this Thanksgiving. How was yours?
It was good.
Yeah?
Great. Especially my Saturday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of work, or what were we doing?
Shooting.
Just cooking. Oh, shooting. Great day then.
And Ohio State lost, so good times all around.
Wrong show.
It doesn't matter.
Wrong show.
Still happy about that.
How was yours, Mr. Rhino? What'd you do?
So my motto for Thursday was eat through the pain.
Gotcha.
So there was a lot of eating on Thursday. There was a lot of leftovers on Friday.
Yeah.
And Saturday was just pure misery on the bowel movements.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
It's one of those shows today. It's one of those shows.
I sat and cooked most of the day, which is a labor of love. But for the fellow chefs out there, sometimes when you're done cooking all day, you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
So I was done. I prepped everything. I was like, guys, it's ready. And then just went and sat down.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you didn't eat.
But now we got leftovers for days. But
That's
no
actually
complaints.
what
So
I'm
that
gonna
was
go
good.
on
I hope everybody out there that celebrates had a great Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate, hope your Thursday was cool. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Interesting bit of news. DC, always very light, but this one I think is good. And actually, before I say that, I want to tell everybody this upcoming December 3rd? Third? Yeah. Saturday the 3rd at 4:00 Eastern time, the Alter Ego podcast will be streaming a video game event, the end of Chapter 3 in Fortnite, a game I never thought I would enjoy.
Same.
I teased plenty of people for playing Fortnite, thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
And then they made this no build mode.
Fucking nerds.
And they hooked me. But we will be live streaming the Chapter 3 finale event. So if you want to tune in and just hang out with us, we'll probably be on a little bit before the event, just hanging out, BSing. So feel free to come and join us. And then the schools like to call me here at 8
Second
o'clock.
blooper of the night.
Yeah, really.
I
So
can't
that
be anymore.
is 7 minutes and 35 seconds. Got it.
But we will be on Twitch, on probably
Twitter,
on Facebook as well, probably on Twitter. If you are looking at the video version of this, which, yes, if you were here last week, you realize now we are doing a video recording of the podcast. You will be able to find it there as well on YouTube. So all the stuff is scrolling at the bottom. I'll give it to you when we're done here so that you can find the link if you want. And we will be posting it to the Facebook and Instagram throughout the week. So be sure to be there and just hang out with us, even if you don't like Fortnite. I will also give you one more disclaimer. If you are coming in for top tier plays, we are not the stream for you. If you are in there to see a lot of victories, one after the other, again, find another stream.
Bro, what are you doing? You're supposed to be sweaty as hell.
I will be sweaty. Have you seen me?
Listen, they're going to be tuning in for Arachnaboy
That's right.
and Periodic Man.
That's right.
And that's the only reason.
That's right. And if you would like further backstory on those two individuals, who they are, powers, all that kind of stuff, and further ensemble team stories, then you'll have to tune into the stream. But anyway, that being said, let's get into some DC news. James Gunn shaking things up as he does. He's been very popular on our show as of late, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he
He's
has.
kind of been the king of the headlines.
Good old James Gunn.
Good for him. I'm happy for him. I haven't seen anything he's put out yet that I was like, I don't like this. But he did come out and say he wants to integrate DC's TV content with their movie and video games, and I guess essentially make them all canon or coincide with each other. Do I have that right?
Everything before?
No.
Everything going forward that he's
Okay.
he's going to implement into the DC universe. I think when it comes to the video games, it's probably going to be like maybe
Injustice 3 or something.
like a continuation of like on the side of the canon. Like you could dive into side stories, or you could develop characters based off of the stories in the DC. I can't imagine that there's going to be a video game where they say, hey, this TV show connects to this movie, but you got to play this game halfway in between to know what's going on.
Okay.
So I can't imagine they're doing that, but they will connect with each other in some way, shape, or form.
I can't imagine that either, but this is kind of why I wanted to talk about this first and foremost, because we talked about this last week with Marvel and the week before, where people are kind of having Marvel with not withdrawals, Marvel fatigue.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Fatigue. And I think that if you're doing that now, you were good at going in and saying it's not like that. That's not what they're going to be doing. But the average person is going to see a headline like this and think, oh, I've got to play a video game now. I mean, a mass majority of us are not gamers.
I don't think an average person is really going to care because it's DC. And then it's not really a shot at them, but you know what I mean? Like,
I don't disagree
it's not
with
Marvel,
you.
so there already isn't that many movies out, and the ones that are normally bad, so a lot of people don't watch them.
You're not wrong, but so DC does two things well. That's animated features. We've talked about that. Don't need to go into
animated
that.
shows are the shit.
And the Arkham series for Batman. So
Fair.
You take those two things and now you say, well, you know, there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs for what's coming in the new Arkham or whatever it is. Or you're going to have to go with a brand new video game that kind of just dismisses all the previous stuff, which Batman, there's already a huge list of Batman content out there. If you want to look at some Batman stuff, you can play any of the Arkham games, read any of the comics, you're not going to run out. But I fear that some people are going to misinterpret that. They're going to see all this stuff come up and go, so wait, now Batman never did any of this? Now I've got to watch this, and then I've got to go watch Teen Titans, and then how far are they going to go with this?
I think they're going to go as far as they can before it becomes saturated like Marvel is. But the good thing with DC right now, they're resetting their universe at a good time because they'll be able to mold their model off of what Marvel is doing right and wrong.
Sure.
So if they're seeing Marvel oversaturate their market with too many shows, too many movies, too much content, DC can say, hey, let's pull on the reins a little bit because Marvel's struggling with this particular content.
Yeah.
So I said this at the very beginning, back when the DCEU first started. I said that they were playing catch up and they tried to smash too much content into too many things at once. Like Justice League was terrible.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was okay. Aquaman was okay. But this time around, they have a chance to look at Marvel, see what they're doing, and say, okay, we can make this better. We can do this different based off of Marvel's results.
Sure. I mean, I personally don't feel that their gallery of heroes at this point are as well known. Now, the big heroes, everybody knows Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, Batman. Arguably, Superman and Batman are more popular than almost any Marvel hero.
100%.
And if you ask anybody off the street, who do you know, they'll tell you Superman.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is, I feel like there's a steep drop off after that. You know what I mean? You got the top tier, you got the Justice League, and then they completely fall out.
Yeah, that is 100% a fact.
I mean, you have your one-offs, you have your larger heroes like your what's his name? Starts with an S. Or no, it's Hyperion is what I'm thinking of.
I thought it was Shazam.
You have Shazam, you have other heroes that are super powerful. And isn't Dr. Manhattan also in the DC universe?
Well, that's so that they added the Watchmen in the last time they reset the comic universe.
Right.
So Watchmen were never a part of DC Comics until the most recent reset of the entire DC universe.
Yeah.
And that's when we got the storyline with the Watchmen and the Justice League together.
I mean, that could be interesting. That could be something that I'd like to see. I was always a big fan of Rorschach. I thought he was cool.
See, the problem with DC and bringing out guys that aren't very well known. So the MCU did that with the Guardians.
Yeah.
A lot of those characters, almost all of those characters, nobody knew who they were outside of your diehard comic fans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when DC released Justice Society of America in the Black Adam movie, they didn't do it right. They didn't do it properly.
I agree. They gave you a 3-second snippet of each and kind of now I liked it and I didn't, because sometimes you have all these characters that get a full movie and I'm like, you could have just told me his parents died right before he fell into the vat of radioactive jello. You know what I mean? Instead of giving me the whole movie about it, where I just don't care anyway. And they were like, "This guy gets big. This chick controls the weather," and I was like, "There's a lot of really, like, not hardcore comic fans that are gonna be like, thank God, I don't need to see this."
Yeah. But at the same time, I still really didn't know who they were. Though.
Exactly. So there was some give and take to be had there.
Like I said, I thought Black Hawkman, or whatever. Oh, it's Black Batman, but like
you didn't. So Ryan, Ryan had no idea who Hawkman was. But
it's like, yo, this man got a mansion.
It's not. That's not really. I don't feel the true blue Hawkman either. That's an adaptation of Hawkman because he actually comes from a planet where all the people look like that, and he actually has the Hawk face and he actually has the Hawk wings. So for him to have that whole setup was kind of silly.
Gotcha.
But a lot about that movie was silly. So we think that putting all these things together, all these facets, is a good idea for DC.
If it's James Gunn doing it, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't disagree with that.
I'm going to say if James Gunn is leading this ship, he's going to steer it in the right direction. So I'm going to be open-minded with new DC content going forward. You of all people know this. Every time a DC movie came out, what's the one thing I always said? Nah, whatever.
Yeah,
it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad every time a new DC movie came out. Nah, nope, not watching it.
Yeah. I the only DC movie I've ever been excited to see was Aquaman, and everybody that's listened to the show probably knows why that is. But here's what I'm excited for: is James Gunn is going to do what he's done with the Guardians with a lot of characters for DC.
See, and that's what I'm worried about. Is he's no Kevin Feige?
Sure,
he's a great director.
Sure,
so you can direct a movie, make a few movies, but can you pull that whole thing together with all the strings and the whiteboard to make it cohesive?
Now, in his defense, in James Gunn's defense, there's never been a Kevin Feige before. There's never been somebody who's needed to pull all these fantastic characters together and make them work. So you're not wrong at all when you say that, because I don't know if James Gunn can do that. He's done pretty good with the Guardians, but an entire DC universe, that's massive. That's tough.
Yeah. Well, the one thing he's
sorry,
go ahead.
To pick and choose where they go, because like for me, I want to see some of the stuff later, like with Batman. I want to see an actual Robin.
Yeah.
At one point in time, I want to see Robin die.
Yep.
I've been saying it forever.
Yes,
I want to see the fucking Red Hood
done right.
Yes.
Now he has been done very recently on the Titan show that's on HBO.
Okay.
So I don't know if you'll get that.
That's an animated show, though.
No, that's live.
It's a live action. Yeah, that's live action.
Watch that though.
A lot of people on HBO.
Us.
Yeah, a lot of DC fans. I just can't.
All four of them.
I can't get behind it, man. Yeah, I just can't get behind it.
The one thing that James Gunn, going back to your point about Kevin Feige, the one thing James Gunn has going for him though is he's worked directly with Feige for many years.
Yeah, as an executive producer.
True.
As an executive producer, he has that model in his brain. He knows what Feige does. He knows what makes Feige successful. So I think he could take that mindset to DC and make it work.
Yeah. I that's interesting. We've talked about this before. We reported it that the first call that James Gunn made was actually to Kevin Feige. I wonder if Feige is getting burnt out on comics himself to where like he was like, "Hey, I'm taking over DC," and Feige's like, "I don't give a rat's ass. You could take over the Piggly Wiggly for all I care. You want to take over Marvel?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a Piggly Wiggly by my house. It's weird you said that.
I was gonna.
That's a northern thing.
Yeah.
No, we used to have one down here.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be in the South a lot.
Gulf to Bay. There used to be a good old Piggly Wiggly. I used to go there with my mom.
Where do you think Morgan Freeman was driving Miss Daisy?
I hope you'll tell us.
Idea.
I have no idea.
To the Piggly Wiggly.
Oh.
Yeah, but where was that?
Well, that was in the South. I don't know.
Oh, now he doesn't know.
Okay, well, there's
great.
a difference between the South and Florida. Okay, there's a big difference between the South and Florida.
Well,
we're not really in the South.
It's not inaccurate.
South.
I mean,
well, southern point of the United States.
Yeah,
but
okay,
Southern Florida is not the
is
South.
Not Florida. We are not included in that.
The Piggly Wiggly's gone too far. We're gonna move on. We're done.
There are Piggly Wigglies in the South. There are
James Gunn has opened up 3 Piggly Wigglies. By the way.
Transition King Avatar: The Way of Water takes place in a Piggly Wiggly.
Nice. You may have answered this before.
It's in the seafood section.
Yes.
You guys may have answered this before, but can James Gunn still make movies for Marvel? or
Yes. Yes.
no? Okay.
He won't have
Well,
time to, but he could.
So he continued to rep the Guardians Holiday Special, and he will continue to rep the release of the movie.
The next
That was one
Guardians.
of his deals with DC. He's like, hey, I do have projects coming out. I'm still going to do the media tour with them until my projects are completely done.
Yeah,
So
and then
that
he
was
probably
one
won't
thing
be
that-
seen again,
No, not for Marvel. No.
which is understandable and totally fine. But he will become the nerd hero if he gets a Marvel versus DC movie out there.
Yes.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
Could.
It could.
Okay, so Way of Water, Avatar. Let's talk about it.
Wow.
The movie, James Cameron came out and said this movie might not make a profit unless it becomes the third or fourth highest grossing film in history.
Yeah, it's going to cost $1 million. Well,
It costs more than $1 million.
I know, but you get what I'm saying.
But there's so much in the way of effects, and they said that James Cameron has not skimped on absolutely anything. He wanted all of the highest level of graphics, all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure the studio saw how much Avatar 1 made.
12, 14 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
2.7 billion.
So if you take today's
they
movies,
spent how much?
No, that's how much the first one made.
Oh, okay. I was
So-
gonna say you spent $2.8 billion to make a movie, bro.
At what do we think that this movie's gonna meet that expectation?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
For a
don't think so.
192-minute
I mean,
movie,
no
how many
doubt.
people are going to go see it again, and just really invest into Avatar 2 in today's media? Because back then there wasn't a Netflix, there wasn't a lot of streaming options.
But this is one of those like sequels that you're not going to get on the streaming device anytime soon.
No,
So like this is one of those movies that people probably maybe will go see once or more than once, if not at least once, because it's been a long time coming for this movie and they've been hyping it up for years.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like pre-COVID times they were talking about the release of this movie.
it's
So-
also coming to Disney Plus.
Right. But quite a while from now. I'm assuming probably by the summer.
I mean, look at what happened with Thor and Doctor Strange.
Okay,
It's a couple
well,
months.
Thor.
Yeah.
Couple
I
months
mean,
they came straight
It
to
took Thor
Disney
like
Plus.
8 days to get to Disney Plus, if I'm being honest.
You're not wrong, but if he can grab that crowd that wants to go see that movie and they can put it in Disney Plus's hands, there's a chance it could be successful. I don't think it's going to make as much money as the original.
Nowhere near, because who really cares? I mean, who's been pining for an Avatar remake?
When you
for the
have
last
Every
15 years?
single person
Yeah,
who was a
okay.
fan of
When
the
you
Avatar
have a
movie.
Me.
that's that unique, that made that amount of money that long
Yeah.
ago, it's any sequel is going to take the F off.
Well,
I'm sorry, it just is. Especially when it's been 13 years since they made it. It'd be different if it was, actually it probably wouldn't be. But I'm just saying this is a long time coming. And I think it's right around the holidays. I think a lot of people are going to take advantage of that time with family and the time that they have off, and they're going to go see the damn thing. That's my.
Well,
that's my thought.
Well,
That's
I
the
mean,
one thing that Avatar had going for it too, is the fact that it's been 13 years. Had they released the sequel 6-7 years ago? Probably not.
Mm.
But the fact that it's
Yeah.
been 13 years since the original, everyone has been dying to see a sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the internet forums, all of the chat rooms, all of the online clatter, whatever you call it,
None of them.
they've been demanding a sequel for years.
It's also one of those movies that it's like it could have been left the way that it ended, and it just could have been a one and done. The fact that there's more to come, because it's one of those, it's very open-ended. Like it could have been, this is great, the story's over, blah blah blah, it's fine. But the fact that it's one of those, it could have gone either way, and now we get to see a continuation of the story that we all liked. I think that it's just going to have a huge drawing. I really do.
I mean, I think one of the biggest things that went for the first Avatar was the effects. When it came out in the theaters and it had the 3D,
Yeah.
nothing really did that before. And that movie was dope. I'm not going to lie. Seeing it like that was awesome.
I accidentally saw it in 3D and I almost threw up, but great movie. Saw it again because
fun fact about me, I can't watch 3D movies.
Yeah.
I will
Nope.
get a massive headache and
Yep.
vomit. But no, so I'm gonna just bring something to your attention. Look how Top Gun Maverick just did.
$1 billion.
Look how long ago that
Well,
movie came out.
that's
Even
I
longer.
mean, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like
Just
that's
saying.
comparing
It's
apples to oranges.
Also Wolverine movie. But
I don't disagree with that
It's
at all.
also one of the greatest movies of its time. That's the difference I feel like between that.
So was Avatar.
Yeah, and maybe in like the evolution of screenplay and all that shit, maybe. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like movies back when Top Gun were made and the way that they did that movie, it was like the abilities that we had when Top Gun was made and what they were capable of doing was way different than, like, it's way more impressive than what we're dealing with Avatar. Even 13 years ago, I feel like we had already come so far in media and in CGI and all that shit that it wasn't quite as impressive as Top Gun that was made in the fucking 80s or 90s.
Yeah, but if you think about it like this, when the Maverick sequel, when the Top Gun sequel was announced, no one thought it was going to do as good as it did.
Yeah,
it was one of those movies where everyone was like, "Oh, you can't make a sequel to that. It's an all-time classic." And it made $1 billion worldwide. Now you got Avatar, which was it set a precedent for movies at the time, $2.7 billion.
That movie was also in the theaters for what felt like a year and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's different times now because after COVID, a lot of people don't go to movie theaters anymore.
Sure.
And now everything's streaming. And a 3-hour movie? Nah, fam, I'll wait till I hit Disney Plus.
I don't know who was competing with Avatar back when it released. I don't know what poor movie decided to come out at the same time as that, but I gotta disagree with you on the one of the greatest movies of all time. It sold what it sold. It did great. I mean, I think it's gonna make some good money. Do I think it's gonna duplicate in terms of straight volume what the original Avatar did? No, I don't. But
can we put into account that going to the movies costs more now? Like, how do they calibrate that?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I mean, well, see,
but like, truly, how do they calibrate the dollars from then to now?
I was actually going to bring that as a point too. On the other side is back then too, Blu-rays and DVDs were another big thing, which is another thing that added revenue to them.
Yeah. Nowadays,
when was the last time you bought a DVD? When was the last time you bought a Blu-ray?
There's this little place. It's got no windows off of 34th. They know me over there, but not by my street name.
They only sell adult movies. Don't.
I got a couple of DVDs, couple of 3D jobbers too. We'll check it out.
I like those.
Okay.
Like,
here's a quick trivia question for you guys.
Movies, no effing thank you.
quick trivia. This is to expound off of what Megan was saying in terms of how do you track that for dollars and whatnot. Do you know what the most watched movie in theaters is of all time?
Most watched?
In terms of ticket sales. So if this movie were released today, it would be the highest grossing movie in history. Probably
I know the answer to this too, and it was a long time ago, which is a surprise.
It's Gone with the Wind.
I think it's
Gone with the Wind. Yes, it is. It's Gone with the Wind. No, it's Gone with the Wind.
Where's Titanic fall on that list?
Well, Titanic came out in '98, and it's still, I think, a top 10 grossing movie ever. But if Gone with the Wind would have came out when the first Avatar came out, it would have made like $4 billion.
Oh man. Yeah. Just in terms of
ticket sales.
How do you really compete a movie 13 years from the original? Like, how do you, when it comes to dollars? Because you know that shit's like through the freaking roof right now.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that, to be honest with you. That's a tough one.
There's got to be charts out there that say like ticket volume sale, like ticket sales.
Speaking of,
as opposed to dollar amount, like there's got to be
single, like an actual count of tickets sold,
right? Or estimated. There's got to be.
Yeah.
Something.
Speaking of Top Gun Maverick, it's coming out to Disney Plus, or not Disney Plus,
Paramount
Plus.
Paramount Plus. Yep.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, very soon.
Openly admit that I have not seen it. Have you seen it?
It's a great movie. No, I'm not even gonna lie. It's a great movie.
We were out.
No interest.
Oh, we were in the hospital having a baby, and I rented it for my dad to watch while he hung out with the kids.
Yep. No interest.
But we did not watch it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the first one because I don't remember it. I didn't see much of it as a kid either. So
yeah,
see if it lives up to the hype.
But then, that's one of my favorite childhood movies, so that's why it was so great to me.
There you go. I mean, that's it. I mean, but see, it's weird because some people are like that. Some people like, it was my big nostalgic movie. Me, one of my favorite movies of all time. Eddie Murphy just had a direct line to my funny moan way back when, was Coming to America. They announced the Coming to America sequel. I was like, I'm not watching a frame of that shit.
And he hasn't still.
I will not.
Lived by that.
I
and
refuse.
He's been saying that on this show for 2 years.
Yep. Yeah. I will not watch that because I know it'll immediately ruin the old one for me.
You didn't miss anything.
I know.
Exactly.
I know.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything. I promise.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't think I did either, but we'll see. Hugh Jackman said he was originally offered James Bond after he was cast as Wolverine. Did he make the right choice?
Yes.
Did he make the right choice, gang?
As a 007, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a certain like debonair with James Bond that you've seen from the actors over the last 30, 40 years that have played him.
Yeah.
And I don't think Hugh Jackman has that subtle cool factor.
That's
I don't know about that. I don't know.
You compare him to Daniel Craig. You compare him to who's GoldenEye Bond?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think he just has that subtle swag about him that these other guys did.
Yeah.
Do you just think that because we never have seen him in that sort of role? Like when he's had some roles where he's had some class and some swank to him, hadn't he? Where he's wearing, what's the one, the Prestige? Is that it?
Prestige, yeah. Where he's the
Where
magician.
he was kind of, I don't know. I've never seen him in a spy setting.
Is the question, can he do it? Because abso-fucking-lutely, yes, he can.
Yeah, I agree.
Did he make the wrong decision? No, I don't think that he did.
I agree with that.
He had the option of either Wolverine or 007.
No, it was after Wolverine.
Somebody walks up to you right now and hands you 2 envelopes. One's Wolverine, one is James Bond. Who you taking?
Ugh.
Wolverine.
I mean, we're talking. Wait, when though? When did this happen? When
so he was offered James Bond. So after he was done with Wolverine or Logan, excuse me, after he was done with Logan, he was offered
so he'd
James Bond.
Been Wolverine.
Yeah, he had already been Wolverine. Yes.
It's weird. I'm a big 007 fan. I do not see Hugh Jackman as a Wolverine, but as a James Bond.
First of all,
I can't.
He's already established himself as Wolverine. So not only is that something that he can play off of, but it's also something that fans are going to want and love, and nobody else is going to get cast as Wolverine, at least, I mean, maybe in the future, of course. But second of all, he's following James Craig, right? That's his name?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, whatever. He's following him, and it's like, and all of the shit that came out about, you know, who's going to be the next James Bond and blah, blah, blah. Like, who wants to be that guy? I don't know. I feel like the Wolverine is definitely the way to go, especially because it's not like Hugh Jackman's hurting for money. He was like sexiest man of the year a few years ago and probably got all sorts of money off of Time magazine. So
I'm waiting for them to make my boy Leo 007.
Not going to happen. No. Not going to happen.
Let's go.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
You know who needs to do it? We just need Sean William Scott to do it because that guy's going to look 18 till we're all dead.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for my boy who played Heimdall to get it.
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
That's
what I talked about that. He would be perfect.
So
he would be the perfect Bond.
They've asked him, and they've said he's actually a little old for the role now. Ugh. Which is crazy.
Yeah, but he's like so fit and he's got to be healthy. I mean,
I think that story first came out. It was like 7 years ago, right?
How the ladies talk about people now. Look at him. He's healthy. He's got to be healthy. Look at him. He's fit.
Yeah. When you get to my age, not that I'm old, but like of that prime, like I can't get anybody that I want age, you start just
wow.
I only said that because you were here.
Yeah.
All right. So marital problems at 32.
First break of the day. We're gonna take.
I'm joking. No, I'm literally just saying is that that they look when somebody looks out. That's how you.
She's trying to segue to Top Gun Maverick, where they have to pull up a lot in that one too.
Ladies out there listening and watching, you understand what I'm trying to say. They're healthy or unhealthy. That's basically it.
Sure, if they're unhealthy, they're pieces of shit. Who wants them?
Yeah.
So we're talking about either Jonah Hill or Brad Pitt, is what you're saying, basically.
That's it. That's pretty much it. You're only one, or you're the other, not both.
Exactly. Ain't Jonah Hill kind of fit nowadays?
Yeah, but he has diabetes.
Jeez,
what is that relevant to?
Sorry,
God forbid that happened. Good God Almighty!
I'm sorry, it wasn't even Jonah Hill that we're talking about. I was thinking of Jonas Brothers.
Oh.
I have a baby in my hands.
All right, so first break of the day. Here we go. We're gonna take it, and we will be right back to talk about more diabetes and unfit humans. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon here at the Alter Ego Podcast. And we're back. I feel so out of shape. So
is everybody feeling healthy? All the men in the room?
Good Lord.
No, I stepped up the other day. That's all I remember. I was like, nah, fam.
I'm Googling the 300 workout because of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, that's good.
Wow.
I mean,
what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
What is going on?
Hey, Alter Ego, next year we're all for Halloween. We're all Spartans.
That's right.
Let's do it.
You're making healthy choices. I'm 15 pounds overweight.
Alter Ego, next year we're going to do the weight loss challenge.
15 pounds. I got that on my ass cheek.
Hey, they have those like Marvel character workouts. We should do those.
There you go. I did have a bunch of those for a while.
We did. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of people who work out, Antonio Banderas. This is something I really wish would stop happening. It's kind of annoying to me. He wants to pass the torch of the character Zorro on to Tom Holland. Am I crazy here to think that Antonio Banderas is not as wildly popular as he used to be? So he's grabbing at his old movie Zorro and saying somebody else should do this movie. Who should do it? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the hottest young actor in Hollywood right now, Tom Holland. Oh, you think Tom Holland should play the masked Mexican hero? I
was gonna say
in a day of.
Are we like
in the days of woke media? Am I in a
Twilight Zone? Right. I'm in the Twilight Zone because woke media is exactly what I'm thinking. Why would anybody think that would not be Tom that's Holland, totally un-PC right now.
He shows up to set and everybody's like, this guy?
This little white dweeb is gonna be the Mexican.
He's gonna be
whoa, don't you disrespect Spider-Man like that.
He's don't not Spider-Man, he's Tom Holland.
It will not happen here on this show.
Hey man, I got you.
Sometimes you gotta keep him in check.
Okay, so am I on the right track here, ladies and gentlemen? Does that sound like what is happening here? No disrespect to Antonio, because he's like, I want to do what Anthony Hopkins did for me and pass the torch. And I was like, nobody's clamoring for a Zorro movie, are they?
I don't. Can we get off of the
let's remake
movies from the 80s? Can we get off of that? Can we make up some new shit and some new characters that everybody's gonna love in 20 fucking years? Can we get off of the shit that like was really hot in the 80s and 90s? Can we just please get away from it?
Just new ideas in general.
You know what? We're gonna start writing screenplays.
Oh boy.
I'm about it.
What was the one that we did? Australian Jedi?
Oh,
and there was another one too.
Oh, the best one. When the Harry Potter and Voldemort in his nose.
That's right. Voldemort in his nose.
Coming soon to a theater. We just got to get somebody to pay for this shit. Come on, right. Netflix. Y'all throw money on anything.
Go back into the catalog and listen to those episodes.
Brand new shit. Just new shit that's actually good, as opposed to remaking shit and remaking new characters and making 7 sequels to the same fucking movie.
Remaking new characters? Like what?
Or remaking old characters.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was like,
no. Remaking old characters.
Okay.
We're recasting James Bond. Leave that shit be. We're recasting fucking Zorro. Leave that.
Well, hold on. The James Bond stuff, that's been something that's been recast for 50 years.
That's true.
That's a tradition of getting a new James Bond's a title. It's not a name.
It's just off the top of my head. You're right. Because that's a title, not you're right. But still.
And you brought him up. I was going to say Tom Holland when he gets older. James Bond. Let's do it.
Hey, oh my God. That. He's British.
So anyway. Is Idris Elba?
Okay, yeah. You know, I already said Idris Elba. We talked about why Idris Elba can't be there. Ryan! Stop bringing it up.
It's not my fault he's black.
We're all sad that Heimdall can't get it shaken, not stirred.
I mean, he's probably doing a lot of shaking.
I'm sorry I yelled.
And a lot of stirring.
Anyway, Andor finale. It has a post-credit scene. Stick around.
Who are you talking to?
Everyone out there listening.
The crowd.
In TV land.
Ryan,
or audio land.
No, I have not.
You really should. Don't fist bump for that.
I watched
you guys,
like an episode and a half of Andor.
I can't wait for you guys to watch all of Andor and be like, oh, my
the
God.
episode and a half of which I watched was near the end, and I saw bits and clips of it throughout the series when I was waking up in between, passed out on the couch with the baby, and it's okay.
See, it's one of those things with me with Star Wars. There's every time
I guess the show wasn't that healthy, huh? The show,
no, really unhealthy show.
The show had some of that diabetes.
No, I mean for me, it's a lot. Like
Jesus
you got
Christ.
the Mandalorian.
It's almost impossible to watch that show with my wife.
Got Andor. You got so many different things. I feel like the whole Marvel fatigue. I feel about Star Wars. Like there's way too many movies.
And there's a third Star Wars that there is Marvel.
Jeez, bro.
I'm just saying. I mean, if that's how you feel, I'm surprised you got as far as you did in Marvel. I'm surprised you got as far as you did in Morbius.
It took a special kind of person.
I don't know. I thought that one's going to be great. I can't wait to see the finale. I have not caught up with it all the way, but I am I think one episode away. I think the finale is all I have left. And then in February, we get Mando season 3.
Let's go.
Guess we have to start watching season 1.
Have you not?
No,
Something's wrong with you, man.
What do you watch? What do you watch at home, dude?
bro, I don't watch things.
He watches Naruto.
That's his whole shtick. That's his whole
He
thing.
watches Naruto and plays video games.
Fair, I do watch anime, but
Okay.
no,
We
it.
did watch Demon Slayer.
Yes, I did.
Yes, we did.
Did you watch the
You
movie?
watch?
Oh yeah,
Logan Train or whatever?
and I watched the second part of the in the city. Oh, watch
So
that
did
too.
I. Yeah,
Isn't
so
that
did
the
I.
new season or
Yeah,
whatever?
that's the
I have
music
not seen
music district. It is
Dope.
that good.
Ryan watches the back of his eyelids.
That too.
Yeah.
Do
He's
a
like,
lot
oh,
of
I gotta watch
sleeping,
this
homie.
for
Yes.
alter ego. I'm gonna turn it on.
Yep. That way I can say I watched it.
I'm a little
he
worried
can
now
contribute, like-
because I'm pretty sure she has stuff at my house that she's watching me because that was spot on.
I have Furbos at his
Spot
house too.
on.
Let's get into some gaming news, huh? The gaming awards are coming out on December 8th. So that's next week. Yeah.
Is that a Thursday?
Sounds like it.
That is a
Sounds like it.
Thursday. Yeah.
We might have to stream that and then talk about it on the show the following week. Netflix. Okay, here's one I don't get. Netflix developing a AAA PC shooter. What? Is Netflix also popping up with car washes all over your
See,
local neighborhood?
That's why I commented. It was like, somebody explain this to me like I'm 5 because
opening up
Netflix has been around for a long time and that is not something that's ever been a thing.
Why are we doing this, Netflix? So you can spend an exorbitant amount of money on that game to cancel it before the first DLC?
You know what's weird about this game is that they just opened their gaming studio.
Yeah.
They don't even have people working for them yet. They have job postings up for the state of California for
and I bet a lot of those guys aren't calling. A lot of the ones they want to recruit over there are not calling.
Well, yeah, because they have good jobs already.
They're not a game developer. What are you doing? Stay in your lane. Partner an IP with somebody.
Well, I think part of it too is back in the day when Google was making Stadia.
Yeah.
And the whole running off of streaming thing was supposed to be a thing.
Sure.
Netflix was I'm assuming might be trying to get into that space. You turn on your Netflix, you can just play a game with a controller from your
now does Netflix
TV
come out
you
with their
use.
own controller or a compatible thing with other?
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm not
interesting.
the guy, but I mean that I can see them trying to do that.
I tell
Why?
you what, Netflix, you guys come out with a compelling AAA PC shooter, and I'll never play it ever, ever, ever. I'll have no interest. I don't.
There's
care.
an appearance from Kendall.
Yeah, sorry, I had to mute the little mama. Call of Duty Warzone, that's something she won't be playing, has reached 25 million players online. And they offered a 10-year deal to Sony to keep Call of Duty on their consoles. I know you posted this one, Rhino. Do you know if Sony said yes or no?
So the weird thing is Sony came out and made a statement saying that they never agreed to this, never saw this, never received this deal, had nothing to do with it.
Sure.
So I don't know if this is just like inside chatter where sources are telling lies. You know, that wouldn't be.
That does happen. That does happen.
Yeah,
a lot.
that wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility. But Sony is saying they never received this deal.
What kind of deal would it be?
So Microsoft acquired Activision and Infinity Ward. So I don't know if this is Microsoft's way of saying, "Hey, we know you got God of War and all these other exclusive deals. We do too. Do you want to be a part of it?" Just kind of throw it in their face that they acquired that production company. But I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation. Sounds weird.
Oh, so you're saying basically they're just it's not like a early kind of what am I thinking, like content deal, like if you used to play it on PlayStation you would get this early. It's not that. It's just you want to be able
No,
to
this deal is literally still having the game period on PlayStation.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And if Sony's saying they don't have it, I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah.
Because UPS, I bet you Microsoft could go, "Hey, here's the tracking. Somebody signed for it." I mean, or there's no intercompany communications at all. I don't know if I believe that.
You would think one of the biggest gaming franchises that's ever existed, Sony would be all over keeping that on their console.
Yeah.
So I don't know what game is being played here.
A huge part of their community plays that game.
Yeah.
So to get rid of that game, you're almost handing Microsoft a big W right there.
Oh, 100%.
So
Yeah, but when you have games that just drop like God of War, I mean,
God of
you
War
don't necessarily
single player.
but you necessarily don't need.
I'm going to disagree with you there because
I disagree
look at how
hard.
successful and how good that God of War game is, but it's finite. Eventually, you're done. Eventually, you've beaten everything. There's no point to going back. Eventually, there. But with Call of Duty, every single lobby's a new game.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I'm just saying though. I mean, as I'm saying, if Call of Duty wasn't on a PlayStation, PlayStation's going to be okay.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You have God of War. You have all. PlayStation's that lonely boy machine, as I like to call it, because they're known for their single player titles.
Lonely boy machine. That used to be my stage name back in college when I was trying to make money.
Here's the problem with that, Ryan, is the problem you run into is when you release future console, like, you know, when the PS5 came out, how many people bought the PS5 so they could keep playing Call of Duty with their friends? If you have the biggest gaming title on the planet and it's no longer offered on your console, how many of their sales numbers are going to dip dramatically once they release the PS6?
Yeah, it very well could.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people bought a PS5 just for, you know what I mean?
Well, a lot of people didn't buy a PS5 because they couldn't find one.
Yeah, very fit.
Took me a year.
I mean, right there, case in point.
Took me a year. Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is a dumb move by Sony to decline that, but whatever. Speaking of God of War, fastest selling game on the platform.
How is that even determined?
Just by number of copies sold and the amount that it was done, I would imagine. Yeah. And it is not expected to receive any sort of DLC. That okay.
That makes sense though. That makes sense that it's not getting a DLC.
But it's a complete game, isn't it? I mean,
yes, it is a complete game. It's a complete storyline.
Finite finishing. It's not like Assassin's Creed where you can always just introduce a new antagonist with some more challenges. God of War is very story driven. So unless you're going to add in a valuable way to the story, why would you add the DLC at all?
I think at that point, if you're going to drop a DLC, you might as well drop a new game.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're thinking as well. I mean,
why not?
Done, why? To make an extra $20 when I can make another $80 in a few years and hit you with it?
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of success that game has already had. Yeah. They're not going to lose their crowd.
Not at all.
They are going to be able to release another God of War. They're going to find a new anthology or whatever it is to go after. And
looks like it's going to be Egyptian.
There you go. Even better.
Yeah. That's the rumor right now, is that the next one will be Egyptian mythology.
Nice. Maybe one day eventually it'll go cross-plat and I'll play it on the old Xbox.
Maybe.
Probably not though. Let's move into Marvel, shall we? Last bit of stuff. Only a couple things here. Black Panther still the king of the box office, surprising nobody. Still #1 doing gangbusters, as it will continue to do. Secret Wars though, or Secret Invasion. The one that we saw the preview for that looked so good, and we've been looking at the cast for this show for months and months and months. I just saw today Emilia Clarke, who is the mother of dragons. They finally released who her character is going to be, because it's been a secret for a very long time. And they say that she is going to I don't know if I'm saying the name right, Gaia, who will be Talos's daughter.
Isn't Talos a Skrull?
Yep.
So
he's the main Skrull from Captain Marvel.
Correct.
Yeah.
He is the leader of the Skrull Empire, so to speak.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not disappointed necessarily. I really like, and I'm sure she's gonna play like a bigger role than maybe I know anything about her. The character, not the actress.
Gaia?
Obviously. Yeah. But I'm kind of disappointed that she's playing someone that's so unknown to me.
You don't bring Emilia Clarke to your franchise to have her be like comedic support or something.
Right. And so like maybe I just don't know who this character is, or they're going to make a big deal out of her. I don't know.
Well,
maybe the men in the room can enlighten me.
Well, Marvel has already flipped the Skrull thing on its face, because traditionally the Skrulls are the bad guys.
Yeah.
The Skrulls are the one that not that the Kree are angels, but the Skrull are typically the guys that everyone's after.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're going to go with this. All I know is I love Emilia Clarke. I think she's a great actress.
I do too.
See,
I could watch her read a phone book.
I've only seen her in what is that?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. So I mean,
I've
to
seen
me,
her in
she's
one or
not
two,
that
like,
big.
smaller things.
She was in a Terminator. I almost said
Oh.
Transformers. That's not right.
No, I haven't
Terminator
seen
film.
one of those in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be me. If she ain't taking her clothes off, I don't care.
Wow.
Okay.
Slap them cheeks.
That's
Pretty
why
much.
why I cried when Chris Farley died, because I'd never get to see him naked on TV again.
Ugh, yikes.
Hey, one. I just wanted to add this in before we continue. I think there's a small chance we see Pepper Potts in Secret Invasion, because in the storyline, Gaia actually impersonated Pepper Potts quite a bit in the comics.
Interesting.
Is this something you
So
Googled, or did you know that?
I knew that.
He knew that
I was
because
just
of
curious.
Google.
I'm kind of impressed because I've never heard of her before. That's why I asked.
Google told him that.
He didn't play the Google song.
I'm just kidding.
I thought you were going to.
I
No, I
tease him.
didn't.
I tease him a lot. I call him a Googler, but he does have a pretty vast knowledge.
I do know who Talos, that's his name, right?
Talos, as they say
Whatever.
in the show.
I do know who he is, obviously, from Captain Marvel and, from the Skrulls and stuff. It's not like he's unknown, but
Do we get a Super Scroll? Or do we
I
have
would
to
love
wait
to see
for
that.
Fantastic Four to see that?
what's a Super Skrull?
Where he can take your superpowers when he assumes you as well. So he's one who assumes all four of the Fantastic Four and gets
So
all
it's
of their
not
powers.
just appearance. It's like oh my gosh.
Down
He's
to
a
the
big player.
He
He's a big
removed
player.
your power.
No,
He just adapts to
he
have
carbon
it.
copies.
He carbon copies. Okay.
Except for people
Yeah.
like the Hulk, he can't really carbon copy
yeah,
that.
things that are like body, not
Right.
mutilation, but go with your body.
Yeah, all the
the
self-mutilating
restructuring.
superheroes.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it's not like just like super strength or something like that. It's
Right.
literally a
Well,
physical.
he has super strength already.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah.
already pretty damn strong. Skrulls, as every invading alien force in any
Yeah.
movie, is already 10 times stronger than human beings.
I can't wait until the world is taken over by aliens.
I'm pretty sure that's for another podcast.
Yeah, so Namor.
I wanted
can't get
that
his
wrong
own
show.
Can't get his own solo movie. Why is that?
Aw.
Why? No, first of all, bad idea. Whoever was in there going, all right, guys, Namor. I'd be like, no,
No, you
no,
lost.
stop
you lost
that.
me. You
Don't
lost
do
me
that.
already.
But I don't see why. Because Namor is, I mean,
I think that comes down to the same reason why they couldn't make a Hulk movie.
but
Another
technically,
studio owns the rights to that character.
to specifically Namor, because now it's very widely known that Namor is a mutant. So if mutants are now a thing that are in the MCU and on screen, and you own that group, why can't you do just Namor?
Well, they don't own the right to the name Namor. They don't own the right to that specific character.
I don't get that. They just had him in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Well, it's the same deal with Hulk. That's why they haven't made a standalone Hulk movie since The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
No, I get that. I just don't know why he could be so prominently featured and why somebody would want just the solo rights to just Namor.
Well, I don't see the MCU ever making a standalone Namor movie.
Terrible idea.
It would be a terrible idea, but I do think it falls down to that same principle where they don't own the rights to that specific character.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's interesting. That's interesting. Last thing we want to talk about today, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Oh,
So
Mm.
I don't know if we had any expectations about this when we got into it. Mine, zero expectations.
Oh, Universal Pictures, like the Hulk, owns the rights to Namor.
yep.
So
There
he
it is.
can't even be in marketing either. And marketing materials or posters by himself, unless he's a part of everything
Yep.
else.
Another big team or something.
Yep. So basically, Hulk and Namor. Maybe they make a team up movie.
I mean,
That'd be
hey,
awful.
About it.
I'd be happy to see that.
I'd watch it for the Hulk. I would not watch it for Namor.
No, same.
You don't like the little wing feet
Ah,
Aquaman boy?
Okay, all right. Okay, we're moving on. Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's not big enough for any of that.
And his character wasn't even that
I
compelling
was gonna
to me.
say, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn here because it's like in the comic books, I don't really know his involvement. I know he's
one of
a
the
big
oldest
deal.
comic book
Right.
characters
I know
ever.
he's a big deal in the comics, but in the MCU, And like the way that he was in Black Panther 2, I don't feel like they portrayed him quite big enough for him to have his own scenario.
I agree. What's the scenario? Another
it would
scientist
take
does something.
It would take 3 or 4 movies with him being in it for them to justify a standalone movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Even then, it's not something that to me is that compelling. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I loved it. I loved it so much.
It was perfection.
Yep.
I'm
I don't
actually
know
want to go watch it right now.
if you have seen it, but it is on Disney Plus right now.
Go watch it.
It is the first Marvel production that doesn't have a villain in it. And I was somehow refreshed watching that. I was like, oh, finally, we can watch something where people are just people, or characters are just characters.
To be honest, if it had a villain, it probably wouldn't have been as good.
No, it would have. It would have definitely brought it way down.
Unnecessary villain, completely unnecessary.
So let's try to have just a little bit of non-spoilers before we jump right into it. I thought there were very strong performances from the 3 Guardians that took the front and center stage.
I what I appreciate most about this, and you're about to name them, but what I appreciate most about this little special is that we saw into Guardians that we haven't really seen much into yet.
Yes.
Like there was so much depth in areas that I feel like we didn't necessarily, not that we didn't need them, but that we needed in order to really, really, really appreciate the whole team.
Well, we've also been talking about this forever. Directly ties into to Guardians 3 and how it is a must watch. It's very important that you see this holiday special. And I watched it and I was like, I don't know what is so important that I need to watch. That was the only confusing part.
I think I know it was a dynamic between the 2 characters that you're.
Yeah.
I don't probably it. I don't disagree, but I was like, man, this is really damn good.
I liked it, but I also hated it at the same damn time.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, well let's get into the
The only reason I hate it because I'm gonna spoil it because you know it.
Can we get through it before we go into
my boy Drax, man? I'm just sad that he's not gonna be around anymore.
Oh. Well, no, that's not a spoiler, Drax.
Because he dies. Drax dies in the holiday special. Thanks, Brian.
Brutally.
Stop it right now.
They put him in a box to make a present out of his ass.
Just as
Kevin Bacon kills him.
Kevin Bacon kills Drax the Destroyer. He is still secretly Sebastian Shaw from back in Days of Future Past.
Yeah. No, I mean just talking about when he said he wants to be done and he's not going to be in it anymore.
Yeah, and for
definitely going to miss
for
him.
James Gunn to also come forward right after that and go, yeah, you won't see these Guardians again. You'll see the Guardians. You won't see these Guardians.
And that makes me really sad.
Yeah.
Because this special was like, man, I love this motherfucker on screen.
It really was. I got to say, all the Guardians make an appearance with a big asterisk. All the Guardians make an appearance. All of them are just amazing that are in it. My favorite, do we want to go around the table and say who our favorite was from the special? The best performance, I don't think anybody can say is from Mantis. She's the absolute best.
I agree. With Drax as a close second.
I'll say I give it to Drax.
But Mantis really establishes herself in this special. Yep. That's what Ryan was saying is probably the big thing. So let's get into spoilers. I want to talk about our favorite characters from this. And I will go first. My favorite was Groot.
Actually really funny.
My favorite was Groot, hands down. He's maybe in the special for, I don't know, 5 minutes.
3 minutes. Yeah.
But the moments he's there are musical numbers and there's a band that's playing and there's just a break in the music and they turn to him rocking out in the crowd.
Perfect.
And all he does is in his low voice go, I am Groot. And I was like, fuck yeah. Cause I knew exactly. I spoke Groot in that moment.
Yeah.
So for him to be shouting like that and just being the Groot that he was, I cannot
wait. I love the way that they made him.
Yeah.
I love how like big and buff he looks, like that like late teen, early
yeah.
20s sort of Groot-ish. Like, I don't know, but it's just perfection.
He's easily 3/4 the Groot that we saw in Guardians.
Oh
1.
yeah, but he's like that like meathead late teenager sort of like I hit the gym every day. Like that's the vibe I got from him.
Still Jock Groot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So perfect.
I'm Groot.
So when I saw him in the background, the very first scene that he's in, I was like, yes.
Hey, yeah.
Here we fucking go.
So
it's because that Groot's healthy, you know.
That's a healthy
Groot.
That's a
it's a healthy Groot. It's a healthy Groot. Yep.
Jesus Christ. All right, so Rhino, I'll toss it over to you. What was your favorite aspect? Who's your favorite Guardian in the special?
I absolutely love Drax. Now, I said earlier, Mantis had the best performance. We saw a lot of emotional depth out of Mantis that we haven't seen from her in the couple of movies she's been in. But Drax is by far my favorite. The comedic relief in that. I mean, not to give too many spoilers, but that scene where they're taking pictures in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the one woman walks away and goes, "We just got a picture with the God of War."
Yeah.
I was like, does he mean Kratos or whatever his name is?
Yeah, exactly.
No, Drax, his comedic timing and his comedic relief in this special is hands down some of the best that the MCU's had throughout anything.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when they're in the club and the guys are like, "You want to dance with us?" And he's like, "Dancing is for people who are pathetic."
Hey, it's Kevin Bacon. He doesn't suck. He's awesome. We don't hate him at all.
I gotta say, Drax is the funniest thing, and it's so weird knowing who Drax the Destroyer is.
Yes,
and seeing this version of him, I would not trade this version for the world. But if we get an incursion or a multi-universal, we may see another Drax. Who knows?
Like a real Drax the Destroyer?
A real Drax the Destroyer, the one who killed the Mad Titan.
Yeah.
That would be dope. But this is such... So basically the premise is the Guardians feel as if Peter is very depressed because Gamora is no longer with the team. And major spoiler development. And when I saw this, I said, holy shit! The Guardians have officially bought Nowhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of dope.
The abandoned Celestials they bought it from the Collector. How? Who knows? But they are running Nowhere. They essentially have a base of operations where they care for everyone who's there. I was like, they did not let the Guardians buy Nowhere and have them be something that's going to go away anytime soon.
That could be the development that you needed to know going into Guardians 3. Another one. I don't know if we're going to spoil it or not, but
he was dead. The Collector.
No, he's alive.
I know. You get the impression that Thanos kills him.
Yeah.
When he goes and takes the space
the
stone
reality stone.
Or the reality stone, I'm sorry.
Well, so the Collector's immortal. You can't kill him.
Well, anything really immortal?
I think you can. But typically, no. The Collector is very powerful. Not that he's going to stand up in a fist fight with Thanos, but he's a tough guy to kill. They did not show him officially die on or off screen. Knowing the Collector, Thanos showed up and he goes, "Here, take it. You can have it. I don't care."
Yeah.
Because he is
the same way with the Grandmaster. I mean, the Grandmaster at the end of Thor Ragnarok runs into all of the scrappers, but there's no way he dies.
Right. And they've already said that he is officially not dead. Yeah. So those two are still out there somewhere in the universe. And it's Benicio del Toro. You don't just toss him out and be like, we're done.
No.
In the cosmic Marvel universe, he's somebody who's got to come back. And so they have the depressed Peter Quill and a really wonderful rendition of Yondu by Michael Rooker in the very, very beginning. You can't miss it. This was something different. I got the same vibes from the Christmas special as I did Werewolf by Night. Not same in terms of content, but in terms of this is something different. This is something that is going to stand alone in the MCU.
So I'd like to add who my favorite character was because you didn't ask me. I am going to have to sleep on the couch tonight, folks.
You weren't looking very healthy.
I'm not feeling healthy right
now.
More
marital problems at 1 hour and 5 minutes, 9 seconds.
So I have to, and the reason I'm even bringing that up, the fact that you left me out, is how this is something special, how it's something very different. It's like, not that we don't get a lot of feels throughout the MCU, but, and I know we're not spoilering it yet, right? Are we not spoilering?
You kind of already have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spoilering. That's a word.
Spoiling.
So fans at home,
Spoiler
if you haven't watched it yet, now's the time, because I'm spoiling.
Spoiling.
One of the bigger moments and purposes of this special. So Mantis is my favorite from this, which is kind of a lot for me to say, because she's like my least favorite up until now.
It's not hard to love her in this.
And that's kind of what I was saying, is I feel like we've seen in the beginning when we first started talking about it, there's a lot, the depth that we get out of her in this special is like necessary. It was very necessary for her to feel like, for me, to feel like a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that her being Quill's sister, that's the thing. Her and Peter Quill.
I thought you were going to mention that she ate all those Zarg nuts.
Oh yeah.
Cares about the
that was one of my favorite Drax moments, just to say, when he's just super pissed and keeps like harping on the fact that she ate all the Zarg nuts in the cafe or whatever the hell it was, and he's like, "Is that your big secret? Is that what you're going to tell everybody?" No, it's the fact that I'm fucking Peter Quill's sister.
That's the one thing that she wants to reveal, is that she ate
all the Zarg nuts, and she's like, "I don't think anybody cares about the fucking Zarg nuts."
Shut up about the Zarg nuts, Drax.
But anyway, I think not only was her performance spectacular, but I think like. And of course, this is the lady in me. I cried at the end when Peter Quill was literally like, "This is the best Christmas present that I could ever ask for." I'm a fucking sobbing mess. It was absolute perfection. I loved it. It was excellent. And I think that's really what sets it apart, is that you don't get a lot of those types of moments in the MCU so far. We get a lot of sadness. We get a lot of emotions that come up, but you don't get a lot of sincere kind of real life sort of shit, and I feel like that was perfect for this. I felt like it was really good.
I don't want this spoiled, but I'm going to mention it, and I know you all will immediately know what I'm talking about. Is Nebula the best gift giver in the entire MCU?
Yes.
You can't say it. You can't say it.
That was the point that got me in the feels. Kind of, I was like, my boy Rocket is happy Nebula right now.
Nebula is the best gift giver in the entire MCU.
And, she wasn't in like, and not to spoil that either, but she wasn't in this a whole lot,
which is disappointing because Karen Gillian is fucking amazing.
What she was in was so perfect, Nebula, and so impactful.
Yeah,
that like it was so rich.
She doesn't even. I don't even think she has like 2 minutes of screen time. It doesn't
matter.
But every time she's there, it hits hard, and she's very impactful. So. I don't know, guys. I'm going to give this one a pass with flying colors. I loved this special.
Yeah. It gets a 9.3 out of 10 for me.
There you go. I mean, if I was to give it something, I would be right along those lines as well.
Yeah.
So what about you, Ryan?
I'd probably put it about the same, but 9.5.
It's good. It's good.
I'm actually going to watch it probably again with the wife, and then I'll probably watch it again during Christmas.
Yeah, we're going to watch it again during this holiday season for sure.
100%.
Hold on.
Right now.
You could say it. Go ahead.
Say it's Christmas right now. You watch that shit.
It's November.
It's fucking Christmas. The turkey is cold. That's the rule in my house.
Yeah, Rhino. We don't want to eat any more of the turkey because Lord knows we wouldn't want to be unfit podcasters.
Yeah. I don't want diabetes.
Diabetic podcasters, because then we'll be judged. Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here at the Alter Ego Podcast. I've been your host, Jack Austin. Thank you so much to Geared Hardware, Ford Supply, Tony Anellos. Thank you for coming back with us, Mr. Rhino.
As always.
Ryan.
Good to see everybody. You can find us on all the socials. You can email us at Alter Ego Podcast 2. We are on Twitter at Alter Ego Pod. Same for Instagram, Alter Ego Pod. You can hit us on Facebook. Reach out to us. I know we've been getting a lot of comments lately. We love hearing from you guys, so thank you so much. Don't forget, we're streaming on the 3rd, 4 o'clock Eastern, Fortnite Chapter 3 finale. We'll possibly be also streaming the Gaming Awards. Let us know, and we will see you very soon. See ya. See you later, guys.
Just playing the
Later.